What's happening, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Dangle Bet Celly. Happy Thursday, Thirsty Thursday, live here on our FTN Network YouTube page. Chris Meaney here, hanging out with you. Did have a guest lined up for you guys. My old buddy Neil Parker of Covers was going to join me. Unfortunately, a couple things popped up for him. We did move the show to noon, as you guys are well aware. It's a little bit later here on a Thursday, so we're just going to get right after it. There are 13 games on the ice tonight in the NHL, so you guys are stuck with me here for the next little bit. My apologies again, riding solo, but we're going to get after it with a couple winners. Some positive moments last night in the NHL. Could have been a whole lot better if we had the right Dallas Stars to pick up points, but we're pretty happy with the comeback last night with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Oilers breaking out. And we are going to get going here in just a second. Just a couple things. If you're new to the show, smash the like button, subscribe to our FTN Network YouTube page and iTunes and Spotify. We greatly appreciate 5 stars, rate, review, subscribe. You can even give us 1 star. I don't care. Just review. Do us a huge solid there. Eric Young says he's going to be back next week. I know that EY is a big part of this show. He is missing you guys, and he says he'll be back very, very soon. Again, my apologies. I wanted to have somebody here to chop it up with me, but we'll just have to power through. So a lot to get to here. Want to say what up to the crew as usually do. Troy's in the house. I actually like your Blue Jackets tonight, Troy. Someone let me know how it is possible for Columbus to walk the LA Kings like dogs for 40 minutes and then like clockwork implode in the third period. And this has kind of been the story, has it not, with the Blue Jackets? I was going to tell everybody inside the Discord to live bet the Kings, but we were already so heavily invested in LA. It didn't make a lot of sense. But yeah, at the moment, it does seem like a fragile team in the third period. New Columbus Blue Jackets betting angle. Blue Jackets win the first period, then live bet the other team in the third for big plus money there. Yeah, tough go. But I do like them tonight against the Islanders. Adam Szymanski in the house. Afternoon, fam. Really like this slate tonight. Yeah, it's a fun slate. I really liked yesterday's too. There was a lot of powerhouse squads going at it as well. Lots of fun games tonight. I got burned by LA last time out of the puck line and in 60, but had the parlay plus 190 with them, and Nashville that cashed. And boy, that was nice. Yeah, the betting article on Tuesday was pretty decent, like Granlund at plus 150. We didn't get Quentin Byfield, which is a bit of a bummer. And then we did get the other one. I forget now what it was, the third one. It may have been actually Robbie Fabry, who I do like tonight. FTNBets.com today, free article coming your way. There's going to be a few picks. There'll be 3 picks and some bonus plays in there, some goal scorers, but we're going to take care of you guys here on the show with that sort of stuff as well. Crusader with the big cash, Knights money line, Marchus over 2.5, Eichel over 3.5 for 4 times the odds. Love that. We did have Eichel for a 2.9 and an assist, and Marchessault there with the shot prop as well. Great picks there for you. Crusader's got a couple here for us right now. He's got his bets for tonight. Toronto versus Ottawa. Both teams to score in the first period. He's got the Kings in regulation. He's got the Blackhawks money line, Carolina Hurricanes team total over 3.5, Arizona Coyotes money line. I like a lot of those. I do believe I'm on the Ducks here tonight, though. Yeah, you're good, Crusader. Love the solo plays. Everybody's getting along here. Everyone's talking about some hockey picks, so let's get after it. Oilers did look dangerous last night, which is good to see. They are cooking right now on offense. They've won a few in a row. And Stuart Skinner played some good hockey, right? You got to get goaltending. They're getting goaltending. And the other guys are turning it around just a touch as well that were off to slow starts. Of course, McDavid does seem like he has turned the corner. Okay, let's get after tonight. We'll try to go in order here of some of the games. But let's start in Montreal. We got the dealing with allergies here today. It's not going to be good. And the pen just died. Oh, no. It's back. Okay. LA and Montreal, 4 minutes in. Philip Deneau back in La Belle Province, his former squad. Cole Caulfield there. I'm going to go back to some of the guys that I liked here on Tuesday's show that didn't necessarily work out. We had Anze Kopitar and we had Adrian Kempe for a point at plus money. That did work out late. We were lucky to get that one with the Drew Doughty goal in overtime. But like from a prop standpoint, that's where I'd like to start with Quentin Byfield here. I have him in the tracker as well for a point. Again, that didn't work out. He did have 4 shots. The entire line was all over it. You know, they started off very strong. Yeah, Blue Jackets had a good first half of the game, but I still think the Kings were right there, and then they just turned the corner in the third. well, they've won all 10 of their games on the road. They've outscored their opponents pretty like almost triple. And this line has been one of the better 5-5 lines in the NHL. And when these two teams played each other in LA, and I know it was in LA and Montreal's on that West Coast trip, and sometimes you get the matchups that you want, of course, at home, but the Habs just don't have the personnel to skate with the Kings. They're just too deep down the middle of the ice. So Quentin Byfield, he's got 18 points in 22 games, scored 2 goals the other night. He's actually interesting for 3 shots because he's got 4, 5, and 5 shots over the past couple of games. But with so much action here tonight, I don't know if you need to go down that road, but I like him for a point. And I will have some same game parlays. In fact, I have a couple in the tracker right now. I mentioned so here's what I got. I got Quentin Byfield for a point at -125. Just use the prop shop here. You get the best possible number. That one I believe is over at BetMGM. Yeah, DraftKings is hanging -135. So we'll do Quentin Byfield here for a point. I got Anze Kopitar for an assist. So we got Byfield point, Kopitar an assist. I like Kempe and Kopitar for points at +120. That's over at Bet365. That's the same game parlay. And I also have another one of the top 2 lines and Drew Doughty picking up a point. So I got Fiala, Kempe, Deneau, Kopitar. Did I have one too many in there? I'm on the bats this morning. I just noticed it in the tracker. So I'll just do it right now on the fly with you guys. I just want to get the right possible number here. So bear with me. We go milestone points. We'll go Kempe. We'll take Kopitar and Byfield. We'll take the entire first line. We'll take Fiala, Trevor Moore, Philip Deneau. So we have the top 2 lines. That's 10-1. I am going to add Drew Doughty there at 18-1. So we get I just got to fix this in the tracker too. So we get the top 2 lines, and then we're adding Doughty. It does seem maybe a touch greedy, but the Habs take a lot of penalties. They're among the leaders in penalties. Penalty kills is not good. And the Kings, right? They'll roll through these 2 lines in the power play. You got Fiala. The first power play is Fiala, Kempe, Kopitar, Byfield, and Doughty. And if they hook up with a couple power play points, and then you got Deneau and Moore, who've been pretty good lately as well. Also like Trevor Moore for shots. I think FanDuel's the best number around -145 for Trevor Moore for 2 shots. If I'm thinking outside the box, like for an anytime goal scorer, and it's not even really that significantly outside the box, but outside of Kempe, like Kempe's my favorite. I've just always been a big Kempe fan. He loves to shoot the puck. He's a trigger man on the power play. They're going to get a couple power plays, so I like him to score, but I'd look at maybe Fiala or Pierre-Luc Dubois, or maybe even Trevor Moore. Excuse me. For an anytime goal here. So I'm also on the Kings, and this number has changed. Pretty surprised with, I don't know, there must be money coming in on the Montreal Canadiens, because last night I saw the Kings at -155 for them to win in regulation. And I think now I'm seeing -130 over at BetMGM. No, it's Bet365 -130. DraftKings is hanging -145, so that makes a little bit more sense. I was just like, what? Why is this number the way that it is? Just want to double check to see, get you guys the best possible number here. Yeah, -130 for the Kings to win in regulation is a pretty good, man. Like at some point, these guys are going to lose on the road. The Habs have been playing pretty decent. They hang around with some teams. I mean, they surprised me the other night. They played pretty good against the Kraken. I thought they deserved a little bit better against Detroit, but yeah, let's go LA in 60 -130. That'd be a 2-unit play for me. I think they win the game in regulation, and then puck line is +115, +118 for them to win by 2. Got Byfield point, a little sprinkle on the Byfield 3 shots. That line just dominates at 5-5. I'm pretty sure I saw +150. It's changed a bit at +130 at DraftKings. I think it's pretty decent. Like it's hard to find a shot prop that's decent these days, especially for a guy that's on the first line and it's on the first power play. So we'll go Byfield 3 shots here tonight. Byfield point, Kopitar assist, Trevor Moore over 2.5 shots, touch juice, Kings and 60, Kings puck line, and then Kempe Kopitar plus 120 for points, and then the entire top 6, Kempe, Kopitar, Byfield, Moore, Deneau, Fiala, and Doughty. That's at 18-1. I don't really like anything on the Canadian side. When I watch a lot of Kings hockey. They don't give up a whole lot. They're among the leaders at 5-5 in eliminating chances. And when they played the Kings a couple weeks ago, I don't even know if they had a quality scoring chance. Like, they really didn't. I would, if you just don't need to. Like, you just don't need to. Best team in hockey, LA Kings. I still think, as I said on Tuesday, still think that there's value to jump on them at 14-1, 13-1. We have 22-1. I think that they're the best team in hockey. They're certainly top 3. Adam, love the Byfield shot prop. Got to get it in on before we don't. Yeah, we're absolutely right. Like, it's so tough to dive into the 3.5s. There's not a lot of 2.5s that are out there. But plus 130 at DraftKings, and then he's got the plus 150 tag for an assist too. I like that. Plus money, and he's hitting 3 of the last 5. Montreal is 30th for shots on goal allowed. Yeah, and it's really the 5-5 numbers for the Canadians as well. Is the shot attempts. I like to look at rates instead of just the counts over at Natural Stat Trick. The Habs have allowed the 6th most shot attempts at 5-5 per 60. But the Kings have the 3rd most shot attempts at 5-5 per 60, and they're second in shots for at 5-5 per 60. And the Habs they have allowed the 7th most. But overall, they allow a lot because of the power plays that they give up, right? Sorry, I'm late, boys. Yotes wagon just on time, man. We started a little late here on the show. Chris, am I crazy to sprinkle Coyotes futures? Yeah, I mean, what futures? We talked 5-1 at the start of the season for them to make the playoffs. How realistic is it for them to win the division? I mean, I don't think so. The Central, I really like the Stars, and the Avs are, they're just chugging along with injuries. And I think I'll be fading them in the playoffs, but they're first or second in the Central. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. What could you get? Like, are you thinking to win the Central? I just don't. Maybe a little sprinkle. Why not? What are the odds here for them to win the Central? Plus 150 to win the Cup. Yeah, I mean, 75-1. I can get behind a buck or two on that. 75-1 is pretty solid. Connor Ingram, man, right? This guy's actually a stud. Yotes extend the win streak tonight, Clint. Yeah, we like Arizona. We're big Arizona fans on this show as well. Blue Jackets over the Islanders looks good, especially in DFS. Yeah, we're on that one too. So we'll continue to get going here. Let's get to the next one. Yeah, I agree. But at 75-1, maybe want to put a buck or two on it. But I do not think that I would be shocked. You'd have to have 2 teams in Dallas and Colorado fall off. I like the Stars. We have a cup future on the Stars. We have a little bit of a sprinkle for them to win the President's Trophy. We like Dallas quite a bit on this show. But Arizona they're playing really good, man. They're playing really good. They're getting some good goaltending. They're scoring goals as well, which is really nice to see the turn, right? Some of those kids back in the lineup. Okay, so we started here with Montreal. Let's go to Detroit here. All right, Detroit and San Jose. Look at the 14-minute mark. Sharks playing pretty good. Thomas Hertl with the Hattie the other night. I wish I was more aggressive on San Jose to upset the Islanders. We did talk reverse puck line. I like Detroit in this game. I think they win the game, but I'm not crazy about the juice that you got to lay here with Detroit. Patrick Kane is going to make his Detroit Red Wings debut. I put in the tracker over 6.5. Is a little bit of juice on that one. We got Detroit at minus 280. We got San Jose at plus 245. Detroit's just been playing to a lot of overs. We talked about this the other day. They're among the leaders in goals for. At 5-5, they have what is probably an unsustainable shooting percentage, but even still, at 10.59, Vancouver number 1, Ottawa number 2, Detroit there 3, Arizona by the way at 4, followed by the Wild and the Kings and Stars and Bruins. But the Sharks are doing their thing. Mikael Granlund we talked about. the other night for a point and for 3 shots. It's let's just start with my favorite play in the game. It's Robbie Fabry. Fabry at plus 100 for a point tonight. DeBrincat is going to play with Kane on the second line with Comfer. Keep an eye on Comfer. I think he's questionable actually to suit up in this game tonight. But that's what they got. Oh, he's out. He's already rolled out. Okay, so soreness, he's not going to play. All right, things are going to change here with the Red Wings lines. They're going to be really chalky in DFS, but even on a 13-game slate, they may even check in with like close to 20% ownership, single entry, maybe even that as well. So I don't know what they'll do. I think they could move Veleno up in that second line with Kane and DeBrincat, which makes him pretty interesting as well. I think, the contrarian playing DFS, maybe just to roll with the Larkin, Raymond, and Fabry line. People are going to want to play Patrick Kane tonight. People are going to want to bet on him. They're going to want to play him in DFS. You got DeBrincat and you got Kane back together, and then you have this Sharks team that's been pretty brutal. But I like Robbie Fabry. He's in DFS. He's cheap. In the betting market, he's kind of getting slept on just a touch. The plus 100 it looks like it's gone. Put that one in the tracker earlier this morning. Really like what I've seen from him. I mean, he's streaky, and we talked about him the other day as like his shooting percentage unsustainable, nearly at 40%. He scored again though. So he's got 8 goals here, and they've all come over the past couple weeks. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals here since November 11th. That's a span of 10 games. He's got 3 multi-point games in his last 4. He's got 4 multi-point games in his last 7 hockey games. He's hit the score sheet in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of his last 7 games as well. 3 of these points over the last 4 games have been on the power play. He's not shooting that much, which is wild. That's why the shooting percentage is so crazy. But I like him for a point, up against this Sharks team. How could you not? I do have a Kane and DeBrincat same game parlay for these guys to hit the score sheet and pick up a point as well. That is over at Bet365. It's plus money for a point. I think it's just like plus. We could do the live odds now. I think I put it in at plus 100. Kane's shot prop is 2.5. It's juiced. I don't know. I'm just going to shy away from it. I don't mind DeBrincat. Like, I'll take the juice on DeBrincat maybe. But DeBrincat and Kane plus 105 for these guys to pick up a point. You can do Larkin. You just have to go the milestone way. I think Detroit scores like 4 goals tonight. They're at least going to put a lot of rubber towards the net here. You can do Larkin and Raymond. That's minus 110. You could just take the big 4. How about Kane? How about Larkin, DeBrincat, Kane, and Raymond at plus 240? You don't want Raymond. You can go Larkin, DeBrincat, Kane at plus 145. That could be a power play goal that the trio connect on. You could see these guys together at some point. Maybe that happens midway through the game. I do believe that they'll try to separate these 2 guys for now and have Larkin and Larkin with Raymond and Fabry, and then they'll have DeBrincat with Kane, and we'll see who they move up. It could be Veleno, like I mentioned. I think they'll keep Kopp and Perron together. Perron may just be on that first power play. He's kind of sneaky for an anytime goal tonight as well. Anyways, you put the big 4 in there, you got plus 240. I like Granlund. I'm going to go back to Granlund tonight for shots. I'm going to go back to him for to pick up a point as well. Been pretty impressed. He's just getting a lot of ice time as well, and I think you just have to take advantage of that. Plus 150 again tonight for Mikhail Granlund to have 3 shots. I mean, I just can't. The matchup was really good last week against the Islanders. He had 4 shots, but he's had at least 4 shots in 3 of 4. He had 7 the other night. He's had 4 shots actually in 4 of his last 6 games. Just like 24-51 is what he played the other night. 20 minutes in. Oh, man, you have to go all the way back to November 12th to see the last time that he didn't have 20 minutes in a hockey game. So, I mean, that's pretty significant. I like that to see that as well. 6.5. I probably just won't bother with a side or a total here or side in 60 puck line stuff. I'd say Detroit probably wins the game 5-3. I think we'll see some goals. So I'm over in the 6.5, but Fabry point, Kane, DeBrincat, same game parlay. You could do Raymond, Larkin, same game parlay. I think I like Larkin, or I think DeBrincat for shots. Let's see what the latest odds are for him. Kane's going to try to feed him all night. I just know it. Yeah, I mean, minus 175. I don't know what everybody's books. I know FanDuel does some ladder stuff, but let's look at Bet365 for a second. Let's just see what 4 is for shots. It's okay. Plus 155. Maybe 5 shots plus 350 is a little bit of a sprinkle. Do we get? Maybe we don't get involved. He's somebody to keep an eye on moving forward. We do this with Jack Hughes. DeBrincat's a guy to keep like for 5, 6, 7 shots. He really is. Now that Kane is there, plus 750 for 6 shots. A little bit of a sprinkle there. Yeah. Do we know the Wings lines? I held off hitting some props due to not knowing lines. I don't think we know anything official. I'm just kind of speculating. I think that like I said earlier, I just think that they'll have DeBrincat and Kane together. The D-backs did it. The Arizona D-backs did it. Yeah, you're right. I'm big worried about the letdown guys. Ingram is awesome, but they're hurt and just ran the cup gameplay. Yeah. I mean, he's going to regress at some point, I think, Ingram, but man, looks good. Yeah, Kane is locked in. He's ready to go. The reverse puck line hit last time. Yeah, I sprinkling San Jose makes more sense than maybe sprinkling a team minus 300 or something like that. I do believe that's the smart play, but I think Detroit wins this game tonight. Yeah, okay, we're on the same page here, Adam. DeBrink had a candidate for a shot on goal ladder tonight. I think so. Maybe a little bit of a sprinkle, at least on the 5 at plus 350, and maybe like 0.5 on the 350, 0.25 on the 750, something like that. Gonna do a same game parlay anytime goal scorer with this game for like this game. Yeah, if I'm gonna pick a few goal scorers from this game, I mean, Hurdle's hot. He's definitely their best player too. As much like Granlund in the shot props, Hurdle's the guy. Like Hurdle to score a goal. I'd say Larkin to Brinkat and Fabry. It's a fun game. I think we'll see the over. There could be some goals scored on both sides, but more so Detroit. Let's go to Toronto or Ottawa rather. Man, 22 minutes in. I'm struggling too. I got allergies, so like just kind of bear with me here. Blow my nose, I feel like every time I put a board up. Makes for great broadcasting. Battle of Ontario, 22 minutes. We got Toronto and Ottawa. I like the over in this one too. I think we'll see some goals. I'll try to rapid fire here, get a little bit quicker with my thoughts, and we'll so the show isn't so long. It's so many games here today. There's a couple I may skip over. Just a couple fantasy thoughts here. I got Matthews for 2 points. His back-to-back games with 2 points. I can't seem to ever get Matthews right for the 2 points, but he's with Nylander, he's with Matthew Nyes. I like Matthew Nyes for a point at plus 120 as well. I stay away from the shot props. I was thinking about Tavares at over 3.5 at plus money. Matthews is 4.5, Nylander's 4.5. I think some sort of same game parlay again on the Toronto side of things. Like if you just go, let's see, milestone it. We'll go Nylander and Matthews for a point. Let's take them both to have 3 shots. I know it should be plus money. It's not even that crazy good. 3+ shots each, and Nylander and Matthews for a point at minus 115. It's not great. I just go Matthews for the 2-point night. I believe that's plus 150 for him. And it kind of correlates with William Nylander for a 2-point night as well. But we'll go Matthews. Nylander, I think, is at even a shorter price than that for 2 points. He's at plus 120. But I like the value there with Matthews. I like the value with Matthew Nyes on that top line for a point. I think we'll see the over 6.5 hit. If I were to pick, I would take Tavares probably 3.5 shots. He's with Marner. Marner likes to pass the puck a lot. And who knows? I'd say that between the two, there may even be a better chance of Nylander to have 5 shots as opposed to Matthews to have 5 shots. But those guys there's just too much going on there. We'll take the 2-point night for Matthews. We'll take the point for Nyes. We'll take Tavares over 3.5 shots. On Ottawa's side, I like Drake Batherson for a point. He's just been playing pretty good hockey. He's playing with Stützle. So I would just take the 2 guys. I think the best value here is some of these players that are playing with good players. Like Drake Batherson is a good player, don't get me wrong. But minus 130 for a point playing with Stützle. And the recent form is great. He's on that top power play, which you really like to see as well. Drake Batherson, he's got points in 3 straight games, got points in 6, 7, 8 of his last 9. He's got 4, 5, 6 goals over that span as well. And it's quiet 17 points in 20 games. So you're getting pretty good price there at minus 130. I'd say the same thing for Josh Norris. Josh Norris playing up on that top line with Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux. Josh Norris is minus 125 for a point. And then, what applies why I like Matthew Knies is, he's kind of inconsistent so far. He's still a rookie, right? But he's playing with the big boys. He's playing with Nylander. He's playing with Matthews. And I like goals in this game. So Josh Norris, not as consistent as Drake. I think Batherson is a better play, but I don't mind the Norris minus 125 here for a point. And those are the 3 point props there. I think the Leafs win the game. I don't love to pick them too much because they're usually juice, but I think we're getting some pretty decent odds here for the Toronto Maple Leafs at minus 120 over at BetMGM to win the hockey game tonight. I don't have any other plays. I did a same game parlay with Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux. That one's in the Bet Tracker. I think, man, I got a lot in the Bet Tracker. My goodness. Plus 100 for Giroux and Tkachuk points. Oh, yeah. I also have Tavares and Marner for points at minus 110. So it's quite a bit I like from this game. I'll recap it quick time. Matthews 2-point night, Knies point, Tavares over 3.5 shots. I got Tavares and Marner point prop, same game parlay. I got Giroux and Tkachuk point prop, same game parlay. Drake Batherson point and Josh Norris point. My favorite play from the game is probably just a Drake Batherson point or a Matthew Knies point, and the total 6.5. What's the shot on goal? What's your shot on goal confident prop pick for today? Just one. Just one, eh? Let's see. I don't have a lot of shot props. I think that there's my most confident prop is probably Robbie Fabber or Quentin Byfield to pick up a point. It's not a shot prop. It's for those 2 guys to pick up a point. Minus 125 for Quentin Byfield at BetMGM, and then a Robbie Fabry for a point at plus 100 over at DraftKings. That's my favorite, probably. After that, it's Jack Hughes, and I don't care it's the Kraken and that they don't really give up a whole lot. But Jack Hughes at DraftKings at plus 114. I mean, this guy is putting up 6, 7, 8, 9 shots a game. Kraken coming back home after a long East Coast trip. Jersey waiting for them. That would probably be my favorite. And then after that, maybe not putting into the juice, maybe Brock Nelson, maybe minus 140. I like him as well. But I think the best prop would be Byfield or would be Robbie Fabry. That's where I'm at. Those would be the 2 guys in the article that I'm going to lead with here. Okay, Buffalo and Boston. I actually don't have a ton from this game, so I won't say a lot from it. I think that the Bruins probably win in the under, at home. I like Pavel Zacha. Zacha for a point is minus 150. If you don't want to drink the juice, I think, plus 125-ish for the assist is fine. I never have any problem if you want to roll with David Pastrnak for 5 shots. It's been hit or miss. I'm not going to do anything on the Buffalo side. I know Tage Thompson came back and he had shots and he scored, but I'm not going to do it against the Bruins. And then I think if you're looking for another point prop at plus me, Jake DeBrusk just playing with Pavel Zacha and David Pastrnak. So that's all I have in that game. Columbus, we put in last night plus 170, I believe, in the tracker for the Blue Jackets to pull off the upset tonight against the New York Islanders. We just don't believe in the Islanders team here as a show. We didn't have them in the playoffs. We talked at length on Tuesday, so I won't bore anybody here. But if you're just new and you're stumbling across the show, we talk a lot about shot attempts against 5-5 numbers. And the Islanders are among the leaders. Heading into Tuesday, they were number 1 in the NHL in shot attempts allowed at 5-5 per 60, and they played the Sharks, right, who were number 2, and the Sharks came back and kind of took it to them. So they're not a great hockey team at the moment. They give up a lot of rubber, And I'm going to lean here with Columbus. So that number we put in last night at plus 170 is gone, but we're still getting some decent odds here over at Bet365 plus 165. Even the reverse puck line at minus 130, I think I saw. Oh, that's gone. It's long gone. I like them the upset. I like the upset here. Two guys that I like in the game, Boone Jenner for shots. Marchenko he's kind of hit or miss. I'll just lean with Boone Jenner. And I like Brock Nelson on the other side. So that's it for the Islanders and the Blue Jackets. Nelson's been pretty consistent. The matchup is right for him to get it done. I just don't trust anybody else. Like, I can't trust Johnny Hockey. I don't know if he's going to get scratched in the third period. Bo Horvat, he was good to us earlier on and not so much lately. Dallas here next. I like the Stars. They played last night. A tough game against the Panthers. Bunch of goals scored. We were on the over in that one. I'm just a sucker for this Dallas team. I don't care that it's a back-to-back game, and I think Washington is in just a tough spot. I just don't like. I just don't really like their squad. I don't know how they're really winning games. They don't score a lot of goals. They're getting good goaltending. Ovechkin playing like 13 minutes here and there. He hasn't been doing a whole lot. I like Dallas here, minus 140. I think we had a better number for them. It doesn't matter what we had. Current number is minus 140 for the Stars, and I even like them on the puck line. I think I could see them winning like 4-1. I know Ottinger's not going to play. Plus 175 for Dallas on the puck line. It's probably my favorite long shot play of the night for the Stars. That's probably it. I got some same game parlays with like the top line. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with Pavelski again. This one didn't work out for us the other night, but I like Pavelski to pick up a point. It's probably going to come with the assists, even though he scored lately. So it's a little bit juice now at minus 145, but the assist is plus 140. Jason Robertson as well. I know he hasn't been hitting. I can't ignore the minus 130 at 2.5, but the guy that's been most consistent that we had the other night, and we talked about him last week, is Wyatt Johnson. Johnson at plus 105 for 3 shots. Man, we even had Mason Marchment last night for over 1.5 against his former squad. He had a fun revenge goal. Now he's minus 180. So it's really tough. I'll probably do some sort of same game parlay in here with the Stars. I'll take the top line at plus 220. Pavelski, Robertson, and Hintz. And then I'll take the second line. I don't think Marchment is available, but I'll take Duchesne and Sagan for a point. Sagan's not even there at the moment either, so they took him away, unfortunately. I do like that line to hit the score sheet tonight. Like Sagan at minus 130 is a good price for a point. Marchment, maybe you can find over at Bovada or something like that. Tyler Sagan, he should be right around the similar price for a point. He's not showing up. I don't know why. That's weird. Really strange. Shots on goal. You do some milestone shots here. Just kind of tease it down. Let's go Robertson. Let's go Robertson for... I got a good one here for you guys. It's mostly 2s. We'll go Robertson 2. We'll go Wyatt Johnson 2. We'll take Rupe Hicks 2. Duchesne 2. That's plus 180. You could put in Pavelski for 2 at plus 320. So it's just really 2. We're not asking for a whole lot. I think Caps are going to be flat. They just come back. They're just back right from a pretty lengthy road trip. Weren't they out west? Yeah, they were San Jose, LA, Anaheim, Vegas, and Arizona. And towards the end of that trip, man, they hardly put up any. They lost to the Sharks. They hardly put up any shots on goal against the Kings. They found a way to win that game. Fun game against the Ducks. They give up a whole lot. That was 5-4. They got whooped by Vegas 4-1, and they got spanked by Arizona 6-0. Back here, the only capital I like is Tom Wilson for over 2.5 shots. But I'm riding with Dallas, and I'm going to do some sort of, I think this could be a big night for the top line. Player milestones, 2 points each. Let's do a little sprinkle on this. This is the long shot bet of the day, 34-minute mark. We're going to go Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski for 2 points each at 25-1. I like them all hit the score sheet at plus 220 and then 2 points each at 25-1. Okay, let's keep going here. We're at 34. Let's talk about Detroit, or New Jersey rather. Hughes Bowl was fun. Yeah, we had Luke for a point and a power play point. He scored a power play goal. We had Jack Hughes for shots. We had Jack Hughes for a 2-point night. We had Quinn Hughes to pick up a point and for shots. Like, it was fun. Like, everything hit in that game. The over. It was a fun game. I like the Devils to win this game as well. I like the money line for them. Crack it again. Coming back home, maybe touch flat. Minus 140 for the Stars. I got Jack Hughes for 5 shots at plus money. I got Jack Hughes for 2-point night at plus money. I got a same game parlay with Jack Hughes and Tyler Toffoli for a point, and then I got a same game parlay with Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier for a point. So just taking pieces of the lines. Those are separate ones, the point ones. On the Kraken side, I like Oliver Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand's been a guy that haven't been able to bet the past couple days. This is because it's the shot prop's been out of hand, but it's minus 150. Still kind of steep. But I think he gets his 3 shots. Some of the Devils are pretty stingy, but Bjorkstrand, that line has been the most impressive line for the Kraken all year long. Even last year as well, throughout the playoffs. Yanni Gourde, they'll probably do what they can to have Gourde up against Jack Hughes, try to slow him down as much as they can. He's a bit of a pest. But for Bjorkstrand, last few games, 6 shots, 5 shots, 9, 2, and 4. He's consistently getting 2, but he has had at least 4 in 3 straight in 4 of his 5. And I like Jared McCann for a point. I hate that they keep moving him around. But minus 120 for a point is pretty good. As much as I like this Devils team and they could score goals, they can't keep the puck out of their net. They are allowing a lot of goals. Like the last few games, 11 goals, 9, 7, 9, 9. It's basically since Jack Hughes has been back in the lineup. But even before he wasn't there was a lot of overs. The few games that he wasn't there, 7 goals, 9 goals, 6 goals, 9 goals, 6 goals. Like they just can't get a save at the moment. So that's why I'm in on McCann to pick up a point, and we'll take the Devils money line. Let's go over to Vancouver. We got the Wild. I think we just got to ride with the Wild until they lose. Serious. We talked about Vancouver, the regression coming. Thought they played pretty good. It was a good game. They came back against the Devils and made a game of that and gave up a late one. But Minnesota, as we said on Tuesday, coaching change, man. Like, it could just it has lights up the whole squad, right? They've won 4 straight games. They've outscored their opponents 18-5 over that run. Beat the Flames 5-2 the other night. I mean, some of the teams they played, I'm not super impressed. Like the Blues 3-1, Pred 6-1, Chicago 4-1, 5-2 against Calgary. This will be their toughest opponent yet, but I just got to ride this thing out and see what we get out of it. I got Kaprizov and Matt Zuccarello for a point. Same game parlay for those guys. Rossi is now showing up. Thanks, by the way. I forget who it was that tweeted me and said Marco Rossi was available at plus money at Bovada for a point. He did pick up a point, so appreciate that, man. You guys, the community here is fantastic. Everyone's always trying to help out each other, and I just love that. But Marco Rossi for a point is plus 110 over at DraftKings. It's on that top line. He's got points in 3 straight, 4 over that span. He's actually hit the score sheet in 7 of his last 9 games. Got 3 goals there as well. Picked up a power play point. So we're going to ride with Boldy. We'll take the same game parlay at plus money for Zuccarello and Kaprizov to hit a point. And Boldy, sometimes, you want a goal scorer. I mean, this guy is a legit goal scorer. Matt Boldy is a guy that could put up 40, and I would not be shocked at all. I think he's probably a future 40-goal scorer. All right, this guy scored 31 last year. So far this season, it hasn't really been falling for him, but he did pick up a couple goals in his last game. In fact, he's got 3 goals in his last 2 games, and 4 of his 5 goals have come over the last 4 games. So maybe this is a beneficiary of the coaching change. Puck luck going his way. I don't know, but I'm interested. And he is plus 270 over at FanDuel to score a goal. He's minus 140 for 3 shots, which is something I don't mind either. I'm only seeing him on a BetMGM. Matt Boldy, minus 120 for a point, I think is also interesting because of what I just said. He's got 4 goals in his last 4 games. Plus 270 for a goal. And the shots at over 2.5 at -140. I don't know. There's probably a better number out there. Maybe it'll surface later on in the day. But he did have 3 shots in his last game. He had 3 straight games with 4 shots before a couple stumbles and a couple back-to-back games there. But ultimately, he's got 3 shots here, 3+ in 4 of his last 6. So I think Matt Boldy is a sneaky little play here tonight. I haven't taken a look at the comments in a little bit, so I'm just going to dive back in. And yeah, that was a fun game. It was a fun game. I wish it could have been a lot better. I'm greedy. But we had, Reinhart and Barkov, same game parlay for points. We had Verhagen, Kachuk, so we didn't get that one. We did have Rodriguez. We had the over. I just wish, I think I wish the top line in Dallas was a little bit more productive. But we did get a lot of things right in that game, and it was fun. Is this 2.5 for Brad Marchand? I like that too. I know I was going to put it in, but it is a touch juicy. I think he gets 3 shots, right? He's like probably a parlay candidate, because on DraftKings he's -175. Yeah, even the back-to-back, I would take it. Wyatt Johnson still plus money. France, Dallas Stars money line. I think the Caps are in a bad place. Lengthy road trip out west, coming back home. Think they'll be a little flat. Really like the Stars. Only played last night, but really, really, really like Dallas. Much deeper than Washington. Wish Ardinger was starting. Would take a stab at goalie shutout at 11-1. Caps team is toothless. Yeah, I would agree, Myron. Maybe still worth a little bit of a sprinkle for you. Maybe get a Wedgwood shutout tonight. Who knows? Not a big they're due guy, but that line is due. The top line, yeah, I'm not a big due guy either. It's hard to quantify reasons behind being due. They have mixed up that power play too. Like Robertson is not with Pavelski and Hintz anymore. So they've shuffled things around. They got Sagan up there or Duchesne, but the 5-5 play should be there for that top line. Ooh, Bjorkstrand's -136 at Bet Rivers. Thank you. I don't know why that's not popping up over in our bet tracker. Yeah, just not popping up. Okay. I wish FanDuel would pop up too, because I've seen FanDuel have some decent prices, but I've said this before. I think Bet Rivers and Bet365, but mostly Bet Rivers is the best. Nice find. I like Bjorkstrand. He's just shooting so much. Wouldn't be shocked to see. Wouldn't be shocked if you start seeing Hughes shot on goal start at 6.5 very soon. Yeah, we're getting 4.5 tonight at plus money, and I think there was a 3.5 out there at like -185. But we're getting it because the Kraken are pretty stingy. But I don't care. I really don't care who he's playing. He's just that good, man. Yeah, it'll be 5.5 first, and then maybe 6.5. Who knows? Okay. Yeah, 2.5 for Marchand. All right, here we go. Hammerhead's in the house as well. Okay, well, let's get back into it. I don't know where we left off. Minnesota. We left off with Minnesota. Okay, we are going to actually we leave off with Dallas. No, we didn't. We left off with Meaney and Vancouver. Okay, let's go to Tampa Bay. I actually don't have too much to say here. I know we've been riding Philip Forsberg. We've been doing the Nyquist things for points. Cirelli's got goals in back-to-back games. Thought he played pretty good again the other night. I need a little bit more. I had that line. I had Cirelli with the Oilers top line last night and cash, but man, I need a little bit more. And he did get the Hyman hat trick, but still, I'm selfish. I'm greedy. Need a little bit more there. Tampa and Nashville here. I mean, it's interesting. Tampa's at +120. I actually don't mind them, even though they played last night. They beat the Pens. This Preds team. I mean, EY would sit here and tell us that they would win tonight in Nashville and Philip Forsberg and Nyquist. But I'll dive into the Forsberg shot prop just because he's been doing it. But there's honestly, I don't like a whole lot from this game, and I'm gonna move on from it. -145 for 4 shots for Forsberg is just okay. It's not great. The Kucherov plus money days are just over for 2 points. Like they're just over. He gets 2 points every game. It's unbelievable what he's doing. 40 some odd points to start the season already. He's -105 for a 2.9. I'm just gonna move on from it. I think the Bolts win the game. We'll just move on. There's way too much action. That's who I had last night in my DraftKings lineup with Cirelli. And then McDavid and Hyman and Bouchard and Nugent Hopkins. I can't believe I didn't take it down. Let's move on over to Anaheim. I like some things in this game tonight. I'm going to Bedard 3.5 plus money. Connor Bedard. He's been hitting lately with some tough opponents, and now he's got the Ducks. So plus 114 over at DraftKings for Connor Bedard. They're among the leaders in shot attempts allowed. Both of these teams are, right, but Anaheim's right there as well. Last time I checked, they lead the NHL in penalty minutes. Like them in Montreal have been right there 1 and 2 the past 2 years actually. So Bedard, when I say hitting, he was at 2.5. He came back to 2.5 a little bit. He's got 3 straight games of 3 shots, but Nashville, Minnesota, Winnipeg, those are some tougher opponents. Nashville, not too much. He had 7 against the Red Wings. He had 6 against Toronto. I'm going to take it tonight. Kurashev is gone now. We were riding the 1.5 for Kurashev. I think Anthony Beauvillier is interesting tonight for a point with that trio together, Bedard, Kurashev, and Beauvillier. On the other side, I didn't see Mason McTavish pop up. I didn't see him anywhere. In fact, when I looked, what's going on? We can't find Mason McTavish for a point for shots here tonight. Vetrano is juiced last time I saw, minus 182. So that's one that maybe you can put in with Brad Marchand. So I thought there was a little bit more that I liked here tonight. Minus 140 for a point. Leo Carlsson, man, when this guy plays, he usually does things. So I don't know if he's missing tonight. He's got points in 3 straight games, and he didn't play the back-to-back. It wasn't even back-to-back Edmonton and Vancouver on the road. There's just, I don't know. They don't give us a heads up. There's no real rhyme or reason tonight at all for the sits. But let me see DraftKings if he's available for a point, because there should be some guys here tonight that are at decent prices for points, like Carlson, Killorn, McTavish, even Kurashev. So Killorn, I'm seeing minus 120, minus 125 for a point at DraftKings. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Even the juice at minus 177 is not good for 2 shots, but I think he gets 2 shots. We have Leo Carlsson here, so he's not even available. Yeah, he is minus 125. Like, there you go. I would much rather Leo Carlsson than Killorn, but I think they're both in play for a point tonight. On the Chicago side of things, where's Bedard? Yeah, minus 180. Where's Kurashev? Minus 115 for Kurashev's not too bad. And Bolivier's plus 120 for a point. So I'll be taking a look at some of those guys. Carlson, Killorn, and then Kurashev and Bolivier. I like the Ducks to win the game. I think they'll squeak it out. Killorn, you're betting Killorn no point. Is that what you're doing? No point, Killorn. Interesting. Yeah. I don't like betting no points unless it's like a 3rd liner, 4th liner, but could see it. Could see it for sure, especially if there's no Leo Carlsson. But I like Carlson, minus 125 for the point. Ducks win. Bedard, I do like Bedard. I think it's a good spot for him to bounce back. Diehard MMA podcast, bounce back tonight. He has been ice cold. He's had some tougher matchups over the past couple of weeks, so we'll jump into that one. I just found an awesome prop. I'd like your opinions on. Got Brady Shea over 2.5 and Aho over 3.5. Yeah, we've been riding Aho. I think Aho's still at a pretty good price. Sebastian for 2.5 shots. I'm pretty sure I saw minus 135. We have him in the tracker, I think, at minus 135. Yeah, BetMGM. If you wanted to ladder it or something like that, he has been shooting. I'll say it's a bit of a tougher matchup for him, and he played last night. We could just go to that game right now. Let's go to Carolina and Calgary. 48-minute mark. I like Carolina to bounce back tonight, but they're not getting any goaltending at all. Their goaltending is one of the worst in the league at the moment. Like, Ranta's just had moments, and Kochekov's only had moments too. Aho is minus 104 at Bet Rivers for 3 shots. Man, wow. I wish that Bet Rivers was available to me. Like, these are crazy prices. Okay, 2.5. I got to put that in for the crew. Thank you, Adam. I got to keep more of an eye on Bet Rivers. They usually pop up for whatever reason. Some of the Bet Rivers are not popping up in the prop shop. Say that 15 times fast. You can't do it. Nobody can. We couldn't even talk 15 times fast. I don't know what the heck that was. But the only thing popping up for Aho is BetMGM. Anyways, like that, he's been shooting. Look at the back of the hockey card. He's been shooting. I'm not crazy about Shea. I know that the Hurricanes get their shots, a lot of their attempts from the back end, Shea and Pesci and Brent Burns. I think if you look back, and he's been right there, probably. I was looking at him at DFS the other night. Yeah, I mean 2, 3, 3, 4, 0, 3. I don't know. I'm not totally into the Shea one, Crusader, but I do like the Aho one. And as we've discussed, you can get a better price at Bet Rivers if you have it at 2.5 at nearly even money. I think that's pretty solid there. Yeah, Ranta. I mean, do they go back to him? Like Kochikov tonight? I don't know. Brutal. Carolina team total over 3.5 plus money. Yeah. Oh. I get it. They don't score a lot of goals. I find the Hurricanes it's like a shutout or they score a couple. Like it's just they're weird. They're among the leaders in shot attempts, but they're not high danger and just outside shots. But I suppose they bounce back. Team total is gold. They need some scoring after getting embarrassed. They don't have to win. They just have to compete, and they will compete. And Rod Brennamore will have them going. And it is a matchup against Calgary, and they haven't been getting goaltending. I get it. It's pretty decent. 4 goals. It's not one of my favorite plays, but they'll certainly be they'll be after it tonight. I think we hit up on all the boards, so we only have. Let's go Winnipeg. We'll go Winnipeg and Colorado here. I like the Jets upset actually. I don't know, feeling an upset here. Colorado hasn't been playing fantastic hockey as of late. Cale Makar he's day-to-day. He's questionable. Took part in the morning skate, which is a good sign for him tonight. That does help Colorado's chances here, but they've lost 3 of 4 games. They lost to the Ducks, lost to the Coyotes. They beat Anaheim the other night 3-2. They almost gave that up. They're up 3-0, almost gave it up late. And then they lost 4-1 to the Kings there. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot in this game. I like that they've loaded up the lines. They got Ehlers there on that top line. He's probably the best value of the bunch to pick up a point at -125. That's pretty solid. I'll have a same game parlay with the top line and Scheifele and Kyle Connor and Ehlers. -125 is pretty good. He hasn't been shooting, like the old Ehlers would shoot the puck a lot. Actually, you know what? I know it's the Avs, but -122 for Nikolai Ehlers for 3 shots. That's a good one. I'm going to take a stab on that one. There's just way too much going on. I can't put in like 70 bets in the bet tracker. But -122, that one, of course, is over at Bet Rivers, our friends. Last few games, 4-1, 3-3, 0-3-3. And shooting a little bit more. The ice time has jumped up, right? Since he's moved up on that top line, he's living in the 15-minute range. Last couple games, 17, 19, and 19. On the other side, of course, our guy, Nathan McKinnon, I do like him for over 4.5 at -105. I'll shy away from the point prop. I've been diving into him and Mikko Rantanen for 2 points, but I think maybe a Jets upset's in play here. Let's ride with Nikolai Ehlers. One more game, and I think we've done it. Let's go to Arizona. Let's ride this thing out with the Yotes, man. Our Yotes. Philly's been playing pretty good, right? Love Tortorella's comments. His team's got balls, man. They got stones. They're competing every night. It should be a good one. It's basically a pick 'em. We got the Wilds here, or the Coyotes at -110 and the Flyers at -104. I really just like the way that they're playing right now in the zone that Connor Ingram's in, man. I got him in like 6 or 7 fantasy leagues. I'm a true psycho. I play in a lot of fantasy hockey. Man, he's rattled off wins. He's got 5 straight W's here. He's got 2 shutouts over the last span. He checks in with a .930 save percentage and a 2.23 goals against average. He's got 11 wins and 14 starts. Man, he's been real good. Fantastic stuff. So I'm going to lean with Arizona at home. It's not one of my favorite bets. I do have respect for the Flyers and the way that they're playing hockey. And Owen Tippett is a guy that, we've been talking about basically all year long as like a bangers league type player and a shot prop guy to go after as well. Why aren't you showing up, Owen Tippett? My goodness, if I could spell, that'd be all right. So the back of the attempts have been there for him over the past few, even just 2 shots the other night. to ask for 4, I don't hate it. You know, he had the back-to-back with 5. He's had 4 and 3 of 5. I don't hate it. But the guys that have been hot on the other side, I mean, Kerfoot for a point. I got him in the tracker. He's just, man, I don't know. Like, I'd sell high in any sort of season-long league. You probably can't get anything for Kerfoot. My goodness, he's only owned in 11% of leagues, despite, excuse me, checking in with points in 4 straight games. He's got back-to-back games of 3 points. He's got 3 multi-point games over his last 4. The ice time, 21 minutes, 22, 19. He's getting top opportunity on that first power play. And that's, I want to say that's not where a majority of his points have come, but he has a power play point in 3 straight games. He also had a shorthanded point the other night too. So he's plus 110 for a point. And Cooley doesn't pop up for me anywhere, but I've noticed he's starting to get going. I got Schmaltz and Keller for a point, same game parlay at plus money over at Bet365. Cooley's minus 120 for a point at DraftKings. So let's lock that one in. Minus 120 for a point. I know they've messed around with Cam Atkinson. They've had him on the third line the other night. I didn't like to see that, but Atkinson's probably a better play if it's it should be 2.5 and it should be decent. Minus 143. I mean, that's decent. It's okay. It's a lot of juice there. Keller's at a good price too, and he hasn't been shooting over the past couple games, but I got to jump on that one. Keller minus 125. So like the Yotes, like Cooley for a point, Kerfoot for a point, Keller and Schmaltz points, Atkinson shots, and then Keller shots. And I think we did it. A lot of comments here. All right, means I'm rooting. I'm in on rooting for my Flyers. Wanted them to tank, but this team is too easy to get behind. Torts has these guys playing. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Playing pretty good. And Alex Blickel of FTN, he's a Philly guy, and he asked me a couple weeks in if the Flyers could compete, and I said that they could because of Tortorella, and as long as Couture and Cam Atkinson stay healthy. Those guys are healthy, they're contributing. Yeah, Flyers, I mean, they're alive tonight for sure. This is a coin flip game. They've been really, really impressive. Their 5-5 game has been impressive as well. They're getting goaltending. Sanheim is breaking out. Yeah, I mean, the Flyers put them, plus them bringing back the amazing goal song of the 90s with the cherry on top. That's right. That is, I did hear that one the other day, and that's cool. I didn't know that was something they brought back this year for them. Good stuff. Don't let me ban you. Speaking of Philly, Debo Ayuk crushed down. Actually, Ayuk didn't do a whole lot, but we had that on the show. We were on San Fran on the show, dude. We had that was a good game for us. We had San Fran, we had Brock Purdy, we had Debo, we had George Kittle, we had AJ Brown, we had Devontae Smith. Everybody popped off. The only guy that didn't hit his prop was Brandon Ayuk. But Devontae and AJ Brown hit theirs pretty easily as well. It was a very successful week 13 over at FTN. But yeah, settle down. It was a perfect spot for the Niners to lay the beat down. You know, it's tough to get sidetracked here for football. The Eagles are in another tough spot, man. They're playing another team in Dallas that had 10 plus days off. Like they played, I saw something on NFL Live. They had an NFL record in terms of snaps played in a 2-game span, which I was pretty surprised to hear that. I know that they played KC when it was a short week for them. Extended break it was like 10 days rest for the I'm not making excuses, it's the facts. It was KC that had extra rest and Philly, and then it was Buffalo that had extra rest, and then Philly off the short week. Then they played 96 snaps on defense with the game going to overtime, and then they played San Fran on short rest, long extra rest, I suppose, for the Niners with the Thursday night football game. And then the same thing here happening this week against the Cowboys, who are averaging 40 points a game at home over their last 14 games. This is a tough one, man. Dallas still hasn't beat a winning team. You're right. They haven't. And that's all we're going to hear if they can't find a way. I think the Eagles needed that smack in the mouth, man. They really did. But yeah, there's no question that San Fran is at the top. I believe that they're at the top. They've yet to lose a game with Trent Williams and Debo. And as much as it was a beatdown, that was a 14-6 game at half where the Eagles didn't score in the red zone in the opening 2 drives, right? But towards the end of the game, they did walk away with it. And you could see that certainly gassed and tired, and the tackling wasn't there. But I'm sure we'll see them again, the Eagles and the Niners. And I think it'll be a little bit more of a competitive game, but certainly a good spot for the Niners to lay the beat down there. No answer for Deebo Samuel. But did a pretty good job there against Ayuk. Yeah, they're the most complete team. Niners the most complete team. I don't think anyone's questioning that. They beat the boys and the Eagles by a combined 84 points. They needed to be humbled, and that's the thing. Be humbled. Listen to the Kelsey podcast, New Heights, last night. I like the things that they were talking about, and sometimes you just need a good smack in the mouth, and there'll be some adjustments for them the next time that they play, right? But the Niners are definitely the team to beat. I think we could see a San Fran Baltimore Super Bowl. Go back to was that 2012? I don't know. Not sure. Anyways, let's wrap up with the best picks of the night. Let's wrap up. We'll start here with sides and totals. Let's go to LA. We got the Kings in 60. Kings in 60. Kings puck line. Give it to us. Burned us last time. Give it to us today. Kings in 60 and Kings puck line. From there, I got the Dallas Stars. I got Dallas Stars money line, -140. Also like the sprinkle at +180 for them to win on the puck line tonight, the Dallas Stars. From there, I do like the Leafs, but I like the over more. Toronto and Ottawa over 6.5. I do like the over between San Jose and Detroit, 6.5. There was one more here. I am on the Ducks. I'm on the Ducks and the Leafs. Anaheim. Oh yeah, New Jersey. So my top few picks would just be Kings and 60. It's 2 to play for me. Kings puck line 1 unit. Dallas 1 unit for them to win. Money line half a unit puck line at +180. Like the over between Toronto and Ottawa. Like the over between San Jose and Detroit. And I like the Devils. For upset picks, I mean, oh yeah, I do like Minnesota at +108 too. I'm just gonna kind of ride this thing out, man. There's just a lot that I like, which is I just don't want to confuse people with other picks. So those first few that I gave are great. Secondary options here like Anaheim, Toronto, Minnesota, and Arizona. I kind of feel like the under in that Arizona game is the play at 6.5. 6.5 is gone. It's now 6 for Philly and Arizona. Good goaltending on both sides. Like Ingram's been great. So the under 6 is somewhere that I would lean. In terms of props, let's get into props now too. So Quentin Byfield for the point tonight. We'll get into some same game parlay stuff at the end. Quentin Byfield for a point tonight. I got Pavel Zacha for a point tonight as well. A little bit of juice there, but maybe you want to jump on the assist. In the Toronto-Ottawa game, I got Drake Batherson for a point, and I have Matthew Nyes for a point. I also have a 2-point night for Austin Matthews. I got Robbie Fabry for a point at plus money as well. We'll keep an eye on the Wings lines, but no comp for tonight. But I do believe DeBrincat is going to play with Kane, but I'm going to ride with the Robbie Fabry point. On the other side, Mikhail Granlund for the point and 3 shots. We're going back to him. The Dallas Stars, I got Joe Pavelski for a point. Decent price, a little bit of juice, decent price. In the Columbus and New York Islanders game, I do have Boone Jenner and Brock Nelson for 3 shots. In the Anaheim game, I got Leo Carlson for a point. I got Connor Bedard for 4 shots. The Winnipeg Jets game, I got Nikolai Ehlers for a point. I got Nikolai Ehlers for 3 shots. I also like Nathan McKinnon for 5 shots. I got Sebastian Aho for over 2.5 shots tonight for Carolina. The Coyotes game, we got Clayton Keller for 3 shots. We got Alex Kerfoot for a point and Cam Atkinson for 3 shots. The Minnesota Wild, we got Matt Boldy for a point and 3 shots. Also got Marco Rossi for a point. The Devils, Jack Hughes for 5 shots. We got Jack Hughes for a 2-point night. We got Oliver Bjorkstrand for 3 shots. And that's it. If I'm just narrowing it down to my top 5 props, it would be, let me just write it down, timestamp it. My top 5 props would be Quentin Byfield for a point, Robbie Fabry for a point, Jack Hughes for 5 shots. So those 3 guys. I go Sebastian Aho for over 2.5 shots. really just shooting the puck like an absolute maniac. And then I like Leo Carlson for a point. I just like the way he's playing. It's a good matchup against the Blackhawks. Pretty solid. And then I'd go to the Toronto and Ottawa game. Like, I think we'll see some goals, like the over there 6.5. So like Matthew Nyes or Drake Batherson, these guys to pick up points. But there's some value in Detroit against the Sharks team with Robbie Fabry, David Perron. There's a little bit of value in Dallas, with Matt Duchene, Tyler Seguin, and Mason Marchment. Even that top line tonight, we talked about the long shot at, I think it was 24-1, 30-1 for that top line to have 2 points each. But I certainly like the top line to pick up a point, and Hintz, Robertson, and Pavelski at plus 220. Same game parlays for points. I would go Kempe. My favorite would be Kempe and Kopitar at plus money for those guys to pick up a point. And then I would go to Ottawa with Tkachuk and Giroux, Detroit with Kane and DeBrincat, and then Larkin and Raymond. I mentioned the top line in Dallas. You can get involved with the second line in Dallas if you want. Winnipeg top line, I'm interested. A little bit of a sprinkle there. Ehlers, Scheifele, and Connor should get some good value there on that line. Schmaltz and Keller, and then Zuccarello and Kaprizov, followed by JT Miller and Brock Besser. And then I will be going, of course, Jack Hughes with Tyler Toffoli, and then Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier. My goodness, 13 games on the ice tonight in the NHL. Did I give any winners? Hopefully gave some winners. We're going to bounce. Got Mean Streets in a little bit. I do a little bit of research for Mean Streets. Got an awful football game to talk about tonight. I like Zeke. Zeke's going to be my guy tonight. I like the rushing attempts. I like the over 15.5 receiving yards. I like the 2.5 catches for Zeke tonight. The backfield's going to be his. Got the lowest total in like 3 decades between the Steelers and the New England Patriots, and it's like 29 now, I think. And I don't know. It feels like 29 too heavy. Good luck tonight on the ice in the NHL. Yeah, I like Deontay receiving yards. Trubisky should lean on him a bit. Okay, so good luck tonight in the NHL. The article, you see the link inside the description of this video over at ftndaily.com. Lee's got his favorite plays there. Got some Prize Picks plays. My article, a little bit slacking here this morning, will be live here soon over at ftnbets.com. Free article. It'll just have the 3 plays in there. The 3 props. I'll probably have Byfield, Fabry. You'll just have to see the other one. We'll have some same game parlays in there. Call some goal scorers. How about those Story Islanders? Can we expect a Lou firing? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'd say like they'll probably ride it out from the rest of the year, and then there's some sort of firing. He's just kind of caught in his old ways, and the Islanders are old as well. Old. Just watching Big Daddy the other day. I got his old balls all over you. Ugh, gross. There was something else I was going to say. I didn't call 5 goal scorers. Johnson under 33 yards in 3 out of his last 4 games. Is this a note from George? Yeah, I don't think anybody should be taking many bets. Like, let's stick to the hockey tonight. There's 13 games on the ice. You got the worst football game of all time probably happening this evening. Let's shy away from that football game. We'll take Zeke receiving yards because I know he's going to catch a ball or two. And then we just shy away from all the other bad offenses in this football game. Elliott has 4 games with 3 or more receptions, and starting running back Ramondre Stevens is out tonight from an ankle injury. This is what I'm talking about, Brooksy. This is what I'm talking about. Late. George, are you making that bet? Let us all know so we can maybe not make it. I'm kidding. All right, goal scorers. Let me give you 5. So some people still hanging out. Let me give you 5 goal scorers tonight. You guys know where I'm starting. Adrian Kempe, goal. He's scoring tonight. Book it. This one's kind of obvious. I hate giving obvious ones. It's not even obvious because nothing is a lock in the NHL, but I mean, like, something that's not decent odds. But I think William Nylander scores tonight. Also think the Cat scores tonight. Alex DeBrincat, Patrick Kane. I think he scores a goal tonight as well. There's 3. Let's go to Dallas. Man, Jason Robertson. This guy's scoring tonight. Jason Robertson. There's 4. Probably have to go to Jersey for the other one. 13 games. I mean, there's so many decent spots here tonight. But I will go to, I really like Matt Boldy too. I'll give you 6. Matt Boldy. You know what? Those are the 5. Jack Hughes is just automatic, right? We just know Jack Hughes every night, right? Let's just bet this guy. This guy is he's clearly the favorite for the MVP. He's gonna win the MVP if he stays healthy, as long as the Devils make the playoffs. He's like a 2-point per game guy at the moment. I mean, Kucherov has something to say about it for sure, but he's shooting so much. I'd say him or Toffoli. I like the Aho call. I don't like Carolina to score 4 or 5 goals tonight. I never get involved with the Hurricanes to score that many goals. But I'd say the effort is definitely there for them, and Aho has been shooting, so I don't mind that. And it's not a bad idea to dive into some Red Wings here tonight. Larkin's a good call as well. You're lucky I like you, Hammerhead, because any more Eagles trash talk here and you'd be banned for life, as my buddy Pat Mayo likes to say. But we appreciate the support here from you, and your picks are sharp as well. So good luck tonight on the ice tonight in the NHL, and we'll leave you with this.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.